Hello everyone, welcome to Roma Theory. You can't really write it up. Yesterday's live stream, I went over 6 strikers, which I thought Roma should consider this summer, seeing Belotti's and Tammy Abraham's bad moment. And today, the big news, the center of attention today was all about Tammy Abraham. This is something which I didn't study, but wait, what's happening there? Why is my video in the background? Let's mute this. Right, let's mute this. But yeah, I mean, look, you can't write it up. Today, all you probably read online was Tammy Abraham and how Tammy Abraham isn't convincing Mourinho's plans and how Tammy Abraham could leave this summer. This is something which we discussed in yesterday's stream. But in order for us to start today's stream, I'm gonna give my take on it. I've said this yesterday. You know me. I love Tammy. Tammy's my boy. But I personally think this summer, due to the FFP situation and due to the fact that we will have to monetize, I'd say right now, at the time of speaking, I'd give it an 80% confidence chance that Tammy Abraham is going to be the one that the ownership will sacrifice this summer. Because we will have to sacrifice at least one player. And you're probably going, well, haven't we sacrificed Zaniolo this winter? We have, but we were asking for more money and we didn't get that amount of money. So I definitely think we will have to sacrifice another player this summer. And I personally think that right now, seeing the performances and seeing how Tammy Abraham is playing, he's the one which will be sacrificed this summer. And Roma have set the price tag. You know, Tammy's not moving for an offer less than 40 or 45 million. We've got clubs like Chelsea who've got a buyback clause around 80 million euros. I definitely think selling Abraham for 80 million euros would be a massive treasure for us. But it's going to be complicated. But yeah, I mean, look, as things stand, I definitely think he's the one who gets sacrificed. But if he was to change his season, then Tammy has to stay. You know, Tammy loves the club. And I think if he changes things up, if he maybe bags a few more goals in this final stages of the season, then why not? Maybe he can stay. Maybe we can sacrifice someone else. But yeah, today's stream is about 2 potential players. Now today, you probably read a lot about Tammy, and you probably also read quite a bit on these 2 players too, because there was some hypothesis. You know, the second the media starts writing about Tammy Abraham potentially leaving, the media counterattacks and kind of also starts writing about potential replacements when it comes to Tammy Abraham. And there were 2 replacements today, which the media talked about. I'm going to read you an article in a second about this website called Calcio Mercato, which is all about transfer market in the Serie A, international, and all of that. So I'll read you that in a second. But these 2 players are Romelu Lukaku, and we'll discuss today how it could link with Chelsea potentially buying Tammy Abraham back. And the second player is Firmino. I filmed a short about Firmino and why he should join Roma, in my opinion. But he's a free agent. I can see it happen. But I'll explain why I prefer Lukaku over Firmino. So yeah, if you're ready for this stream, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Our women's team is really great. Just a little off topic this evening. Yeah, I know. AS Roma against Barcelona women tonight. I could have gone there, but I was like, no, I can't be bothered to go. I struggle to believe 40,000 fans are at the stadium tonight to watch Barcelona and Roma, like the Women Champions League. Josh is there tonight. He went there because he had nothing to do tonight. I struggle to believe 40,000 fans are there tonight. But at the end of the day, that's Roma. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me much. So yeah, if you're ready, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it. I'm gonna read you this article about Abraham's position and also linking with Lukaku and Firmino. In England, there are some admirers. Chelsea always retains a right of repurchase at 80 million, an obviously off-market price, but the priority of any negotiation would go to the Blues, who in the meantime are obviously still trying to sign Osimhen and who still don't know Lukaku's future. The Belgian could represent a bargaining chip not to be underestimated even for Roma. More interested in Tammy is Aston Villa, where Abraham has already played, scoring 25 goals in one season. It is Excuse me. As things stand, it is unlikely that the English will remain in Rome, and with his money, Mourinho would have a little treasure to strengthen the team. Starting right from the attack, on a free transfer, there are two players who Roma really like. Firmino from Liverpool and Wilfred Zaha from Crystal Palace, but they have different characteristics from Tammy Abraham. The evolution of Matteo Retegui is also closely followed, but he should be supported by a more experienced striker. Fair play to this article. I really enjoyed reading this article today because it gives you a broad view of Roma's position with the striker and Chelsea's position with Tammy Abraham too. It's fair to say that I think, speaking about striker replacements, we have to consider two things. The first thing which we have to consider is if Chelsea want to buy back Tammy Abraham, because if Chelsea trigger that buyback clause, we would get 80 million euros. That's a lot of money. And the second thing which I think we have to consider when it comes to speaking about Tammy Abraham's replacements, potential replacements, I'm not saying he's going to leave 100%, but potential replacements, is Champions League football. Because I'll be honest with you, many of these names which were linked and listed in this article want Champions League football. The only one which maybe I could see happen without Champions League football is Zaha, because moving from Crystal Palace to Roma would be an automatic step up in your career. But Champions League football plays a massive part. I've said this in the match reaction. the fact that we lost the derby, in my view of reaching top four, changes absolutely nothing. I think we're still very wide open in a Champions League race. I am the first one to say that if anyone thinks our top four race is gone, I'm not going to call you delusional, but I'm going to call you a non-believer. I think until the last game week, we have to fight for top four. Because at the end of the day, we're 1 point from top four. So many of these names want Champions League football, and I fully get them. But on the other hand, these are players which, if we have to replace Tammy Abraham, I wouldn't mind these names. Now, look, starting with Lukaku. Lukaku, mark my words right now, clip this right now. In case Lukaku joins Roma this summer, clip this right now. Clip what I'm about to say. If Lukaku joins Roma, Lukaku would go back to Inter 2020 levels. I am confident that if Lukaku joins Roma, he could be one of the best strikers out there. He could bag so many goals. He could get back to the fitness that he left at Inter in 2021 when they won the league. I am convinced, I am confident that if Lukaku changes team and stays in Italy, he's going to have a great season. And I'll tell you another reason why I think Lukaku wouldn't be a bad replacement when it comes to replacing Tammy Abraham. Now, I think we are playing in such a way where our strikers are very isolated. You can see this. You can see this. You can see it in every game. We play in such a way that we leave our striker extremely isolated. That is one of the reasons why Tammy Abraham is basically a midfielder this season rather than a striker. What does that mean? That means that you need a physical striker if you're playing with an isolated striker. And I'll be honest with you, as much as I love Tammy, Tammy is not physical. Tammy doesn't win physical battles. And if there is one player which is suited for the way we play, meaning the way he lives, the way he isolates himself, is Romelu Lukaku. I think physicality-wise, Lukaku is the best striker in modern football. Lukaku is the physical prototype striker. He's enormous. He's enormous. He is so physical that, seeing the way we play, I think he could suit so well in our style of play. And I've said this already. I've said this a few minutes ago. Trust me, if Lukaku comes to Roma, he will cancel all of his flop seasons at Inter and all of his flop seasons at Chelsea. He would re-become a completely different player. And that's why, I'll be honest with you, I would not mind Romelu Lukaku because of the way we play. Again, manager changes a lot. Let's say Mourinho leaves and we play with a different style of play, then it maybe some considerations change. But I want Mourinho to stay. I am sticking with the idea that we should continue with Mourinho until his contract ends. And with Mourinho sitting on the bench, there are not going to be many tactical changes. We are going to play like this next season too. However, the second you have a striker like Lukaku, you are guaranteed more goals because he's way more physical than Tammy Abraham. So that's me commenting Romelu Lukaku. Why? This kind of links with the Firmino discussion. I love Firmino. I filmed an entire short about Firmino and the way he touches the ball, the way he moves with the ball. His touch is insane. Problem with Firmino is a false nine. And as much as, don't get me wrong, the fact that we play deep and that we're not an attacking side, a false nine can be useful. False nine, with the way we play, I'm not too sure about it. It could work because you look at Tammy this season and he is effectively playing as a false nine. But I just feel like out of the two, I think Lukaku would benefit the way we play better. I think both of them are great names. Both of them are names which want Champions League football. Both are two names which I think could improve your team. Another consideration to make, maybe, which is very, very unlikely, but what if we keep Tammy Abraham and shift him to second striker and sell Belotti? It's something which I would love because I think Tammy is a perfect second striker. I mean, again, I'm not trying to discredit Tammy. He's my favorite player in the club. I love the guy, but I think, as a second striker, he'd be great. But obviously, Tammy Abraham doesn't want to play as a second striker. He wants to play every game. He doesn't want to sit on the bench. So the dreams of dreams is to have one between Lukaku and Firmino maybe, and then Tammy Abraham as a replacement. But Tammy wants to play, and we don't blame him. So if we get one of these players, Tammy Abraham will 100% leave. Belotti, I think, I don't know. I mean, out of the two, I'd rather Belotti leave than Tammy, just because affection-wise, I love Tammy more. But both of them are performing bad, and we have to be realistic here. You can love them as much as you want, but they're not bagging the goals. So we definitely have to take in consideration other options this summer when it comes to striker. But yeah, I think, and the reason why Lukaku is a good option is it links with Chelsea. Let's say Chelsea want Tammy back, but maybe they don't want to spend the 80 million buyback clause. We could find an agreement where we kind of swap Lukaku and Tammy Abraham and maybe add some money to it. Because Lukaku is an Inter player, but he's effectively a Chelsea player. He's on loan to Inter. So at the end of the season, he'll go back to Chelsea. So maybe we can swap the two plus a bit more money. I don't know. There are a lot of considerations which could be made. I think Lukaku is a valid option. In fact, I probably already mentioned how every morning I listen to this, listen to this podcast. It's kind of like, what do you want to call it? Radio broadcast. And one of these journalists was saying that it's actually a valid possibility. It's not an impossible thing signing Lukaku this summer, especially because Lukaku's value massively dropped. Lukaku is not the same player as 2021. After two very bad seasons, his value is definitely going to drop, and Chelsea know this. So I think with 25 million, 30 million, you could steal Lukaku from Chelsea easy, especially because Chelsea have to sell because they've spent so much. But yeah, Zaha is another valid option, but Zaha isn't a striker. As much as I'm aware of, Zaha is not a striker. Zaha is more of a winger. And then the last name which this article mentioned was Matteo Retegui, who apparently scored 6 goals in 8 games in the Argentinian league. I was reading a comment from from Logical in past stream So look, I mean, I think it's very early to speak about Retegui. Thursday's going to be an interesting one because Mancini, the Italian coach, gave a call up to this Retegui guy who is Argentinian but effectively has an Italian citizenship. So I mean, if he plays well in these two games with Italy, competition is gonna grow so much. Look at Gnonto last season; he played one game again with Italy, and then the competition largely increased. I think when it comes to Retegui, if we want to sign Retegui, we have to be quick, and also it's a big gamble because as much as every striker, but I also think the article says it very clear. We buy Retegui, he can't be your main striker. We need to be signing a more experienced striker too. But yeah, that's kind of the morale of this stream. Do we? I mean, in fact, I'm gonna ask you. In fact, you know what? Let's put a poll. Let's put a poll up. Let's put a poll up. Let's see what you guys think. Right. But yeah, in the meantime, let me know. Let me know what you feel. Do you think Tammy should leave at the end of the season? Let me know that. I'm very curious to see what you guys think. Should Tammy Abraham leave? Would you sell Tammy Abraham at the end of the season? So yeah, let me know all of that, and then we're gonna read comments in a second. Who would you pick? I'm gonna put Lukaku. I'm gonna put Firmino. I'm gonna put Retegui. Retegui ? Because yeah. So yeah, poll is up. Feel free to vote, and let's see what you guys think. But yeah, someone mentioned in the chat Roma women are playing tonight in the Champions League. Let's see their score. Roma. Oh no. AS Roma women. Not that we care. 0-0. But yeah, Josh is at the stadium indeed. Right, let's read some comments. Hi Simon, you're doing a great job. Thoughts on Mourinho getting linked with the PSG and Real Madrid? I've said this, in fact, a few minutes ago. I'm sticking with the idea that Mourinho should stay at Roma until his contract ends. Because I think we've got a process going. You can tell that Mourinho's formed a family. You can tell Mourinho's formed a united group. So I'm sticking with my idea that I think Mourinho should stay until the end of his contract. But I think much of it will depend on him. If he wants to stay, he stays. If he wants to leave, he leaves. Tammy is an improving goal scorer. Mourinho tactics is someone who can hold the ball and bring the players to play up front. And I actually think Lukaku can do that very, very well. Speaking about him. We can't afford him anyway. I don't know. I think... I don't know. Maybe Champions League qualification is not gone, but it's absurd to say the Derby loss doesn't change anything. It's 6 points to a direct rival. I agree. And you know what? I actually fully agree with that comment. The Derby loss makes us weaker in the top 4 race. But it's not over because we're 1 point. And Inter and Milan both lost. So all of it is open. International break to reflect on our mistakes and then a final assault at the end of the season. But by the way, have you read the news? Korsdorp got surgery again on his knee. It's the 6th time he gets surgery in the last 2 years or 3 years. Korsdorp is such an unlucky player. Apparently he'll be missing at least 1 month, if not until the end of the season. Apparently he felt something wrong against Real Sociedad, and today he had surgery. It's been an eventful week for Korsdorp. He had nose surgery on Saturday and knee surgery today. So it's not great, but it's kind of karma, I guess, after being called a traitor. We can't think of building a good team and then we bring Lukaku. Isn't fast and Jose plays a counter-attacking football. For me, Lukaku is a no. Hope Pellegrini is the first to leave. Nah, Pellegrini's not going to leave. I'm not just saying this because I want to say this, but Pellegrini's not going to leave. I've said this already. There's such a big vision of captains in Italy. Pellegrini's not going to leave. I actually think Pellegrini, I've said this already, Out of all the players at Roma, I see Pellegrini staying at Roma until the day he dies. And to be fair, I watched a TikTok yesterday of Pellegrini during lockdown. What a player he was. Sometimes I get these TikToks and it's so great to see because I completely forgot what a player Pellegrini was during lockdown. Pellegrini is having a bad season. Pellegrini is not a shit player. Pellegrini is not a weak player. Pellegrini is a great player who's just having a no-no season. So I think give him time and keep him, and we are gonna keep him because he's the captain. Simon, you officially have a rival, Fusion Josh. No idea who he is. Search him up. Who is he? Who's this guy? Fusion Josh. Crazy ultras go mental as Lazio win versus Roma. Is he like an English Lazio fan? I'm pretty surprised Lazio got English fans, to be honest with you. Yeah, he did the stadium vlog. English Lazio fan. Big ups to him. Big ups to Josh. I mean, if anyone knows this, if anyone knows him, I should say, tell him to wash his teeth with this tonight, with some AZ toothpaste. Yeah. AZ Agmore, they say hi. Right, let's see what you think about Tammy Abraham. Don't sell Tammy. You can't sell Pellegrini. He's their captain. I agree. If Tammy leaves Roma, need to sign a good striker. Yes, sell him, says Logical. Don't sell Tammy. He's young, adaptable, quick, and needs better manager and proper coaches, says Marco. Is keeping Lukaku and Tammy a big problem for Roma? Roma should open their pockets. Yeah, Roma should open their pockets, man. But in fact, I'm not even going to delve into this because I've said this 30 million times. I'm not going to dive into FFP again. If Tammy leaves Roma, oh yeah, I read that. I voted Retegui, says Logical. Tammy wants to leave though. God, we need a new right back so bad. Pellegrini will be in Roma for life. Return of Chilik. I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, now I can't see us playing until the season ends with Zalewski. Zalewski already can't defend, so Chilik will have to be back. But yeah, look, I'm not gonna drag this any further. I'm gonna end it here. If you haven't already, please smash that like button. Please do it. It's free of cost and supports me a lot. So please smash it. Also subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and let me know in the comments who you voted between Lukaku, Firmino, and Retegui. Click the bell notification button so you'll be notified every time I go live or post a video. Josh is enjoying women's football tonight. I should have gone, you know what? Should have filmed a vlog. If Roma advances on to the next round, I'll film you. I'll provide you a women's Champions League football vlog. 56% say Lukaku, 31% say Bobby, and 12% say Retegui. So yeah, I'll catch you soon. Take care, and good night. Simon?